Welcome to another episode, everyone. High Desert State Prison. A Uso pulled up, a Samoan. This individual had a drinking problem and he disrespected a Southsider. Well, this is really death waiting to happen. And this disrespect led to immense bloodshed. I have to preface every story that I give about High Desert State Prison with a disclaimer, with the fact that High Desert State Prison, I don't know what you have heard, I do not care, I'm telling you, is the most violent prison in the state of California. Pelican Bay is the most famous prison and also extremely violent, but High Desert is by far the most violent prison in the state of California. I did 7 years there in High Desert, and I believe that it was the worst experience of my entire life. It was dreadful. I would advise everyone to stay free. Now, Uso hits the yard, and the yard is very political. Again, I have to preface, you have to understand the atmosphere so that you'll understand why this bloodshed took place. I can't just tell you what happened. You have to understand why this happened, why it happened. And in order to understand that, you have to understand the backdrop, the atmosphere that is High Desert State Prison, a level 4, 180 prison yard. And a level 4, 180 prison yard is indeed the most violent prison yard in the state of California. That's any level 4, 180 prison yard. But High Desert, because level 4 is the highest that you can go, but High Desert is extremely violent and just extremely political. Every faction is strong. All of the weak have long been weeded out. They are gone, been viciously, bloodily removed from the yard for one infraction or another, exposing themselves and thus getting rid of themselves via the protocol. And everyone in High Desert on C yard, but on every yard, takes care of business. Every car, the Norteños were there with the Sureno. Bloods, Crips, the other Samoans. If you get out of line and you're inside of a group, you are going to be stabbed. It's a weapons-only yard. You are going to, every time you come out to the yard, it is yard down. Every day. You can expect the yard to go down and you can expect to see a stabbing. Oftentimes, you will witness a killing. Right there on the yard, a very vicious one. You cannot flout any rule or protocol. If you do, you are putting your life on the line. They don't care about how old you are or why you made the mistake. You cannot make the mistake. If you do, it can cost you your life. I am not exaggerating. Uso, let's call him Big Boy, again, because he's a very big individual, hit the yard. He's okay. He's about 26 years old, and he's a very big individual. He's humongous. When he first came to the yard, I remember I was over there on the bars working out, and one of the homies told me, like, man, hey, you saw the Samoan that hit the yard? I'm like, nah, I ain't seen him. Like, you heard about him? Like, I ain't heard about him. Like, what's up? Like, man, that dude big. He bigger than you, bro. That's how people always want to gauge how big someone is. Man, he bigger than you. Or he almost as big as you. But in this case, they said, man, he bigger than you, bro. And like, not just big, he sized up. But I was a monster. I was humongous in prison. I was busting down hard. What are you talking about? And the Samoan just happened to come out of his building. Right when he was talking about have I seen him yet? And then he came out and he sort of walked past where we were at. And I looked at him like, there you go right there. Look, we done talked him up. You talked him up. I ain't talking about. And he like, there you go right there. And I look at him. You know, all right, you know, whatever. You know, he was big though. The dude was humongous. Now, you have day room there in High Desert. And yard, of course. And big boy is coming out to the yard drunk. This is a violation. You don't even want to be getting drunk in High Desert. If you do, you want to be inside of the cell at night where no one is coming out of their cell anymore. It's a time when they lock the cell doors, no one is coming out. In the comfort of your own cell, sleep it off, come out in the morning fresh. But walking around the yard in the day room drunk is a disaster waiting to happen because the politics are too prevalent. They're everywhere. And if you flout any of the politics, any of the rules, as I said, you're going to be in trouble. So you want to be of sound mind. You don't want to be walking around there drunk, getting into it with people into that. Man, someone will hurt you in there. He's coming out. He's a humongous individual. He's the biggest dude on the yard at this time. He took that title from me. Nobody cares about that, about your size there in High Desert. They got a great equalizer. Everyone has a weapon. It's a weapons only yard. Big weapons. And they are unafraid to use these weapons. So the Samoan, big boy, he's just loud. He's not really bothering anyone, but he gets drunk, he comes to the day room, and he's loud. It's just annoying. He's over there playing cards with his people, with his faction, with his section, and he's just loud. The whole day room can hear him. No one can tell you to be quiet or anything, so that's okay, but it's not really how the Usos comport themselves. They're very, they're sociable there on the yard, but they tend also to keep to themselves. They have the brothers' backs and the brothers have their backs, but they have their own thing going. And they tend to mind their own business. So they don't really want to be out there like that, this dude being loud and drunk. So they told him, don't come out of your cell drunk anymore. You're too loud. You're causing too much attention to us. You just hit the yard. You're young. You don't know what's going on, but we letting you know you can't do that on this yard. You have to stay focused. You have to be ready. Have your weapon on you at all times. You have to exercise. You have to work out. You have to eat right. You have to be ready for war. You cannot be inebriated here on the yard or in the day room. You're no good to us. You're a liability. If we get attacked, you can't defend yourself. You can't defend us. While we're defending ourselves, we have to defend you too, putting our lives in further jeopardy. Don't come out your cell intoxicated anymore. But Big Boy didn't listen. He had a problem. When you have this problem, it's not just as easy sometimes to say, man, you stop drinking, stop smoking, stop doing whatever it is that you're doing. Sometimes people need help, need therapy to get through, to overcome these vices. But with your life on the line, you think, you may want to just stop this stuff. But he did not. He came out to the day room drunk once again and bumped into a Southsider just to hurry up and move the story along. There's a little bit more to it. People say that I talk too much sometimes, so let me just get to it. He came out to the day room. Big Boy was drunk again, and he bumped into the Southsider. And when he bumped into a Southsider, the Southsider was an older dude. He was someone with rank there on the yard. And bro, these dudes are not playing. The Southsiders on the yard are not playing. They're brutalizing people. They're brutalizing their own people. When they get out of line, they're stabbing them up bad. Vicious attacks, coordinated attacks. The Norteños are doing the same thing. Every group is. Every group. The Southsiders are deep. They have a hierarchy. They have a structure. And anyone who goes outside of that structure is being dealt with viciously and immediately. Bumped into the Southsider essentially just looked at him like, you gonna say excuse me? Or what? Big boy essentially starts laughing like, man, you bumped into me. You need to say excuse me. This is Big Boy. Now, the Southsider he's a midget in comparison to Big Boy. I'm thinking, yeah, this can go bad right here, right now, immediately, one way or another. If Big Boy takes off on the south side or whatever, it's about to go bad out here. In this day room, right now. So the Southsider, he clearly takes umbrage. And again, the number one rule in prison is to show respect to everyone, to never disrespect anyone. Respect is a prerequisite to survival as it relates to a level 4, 180 yard. If you disrespect anyone, you're shortening your life. So the Southsider clearly takes this gesture as disrespect. And I knew from there it was over. They followed the proper protocol, the Southsiders, and went to the Samoans. And they said, get this dude off the yard. Today. I want him gone today. We want him out of here now, today. Get him out of here now. And the implication is clear. If they do not remove him from the yard, the Southsiders are going to take off on him, and perhaps all of the Samoans. This is just how it goes. This is the rules. This is the protocols. If your people get out of line, whoever it is, the rules state we give that faction, that car, that race, a chance to take care of it. We go to the shot caller and say, your people did this, that, and the other. A clear violation. We want him off the yard. Sometimes the group says, we're not getting him off the yard. We don't believe he did that, or we don't believe that it warrants us stabbing our homeboy up and getting him off the yard. So it's not, no. And then, boop, it's up. And then, but most of the time, 99% of the time, the group is going to get the individual off the yard for the violation. Circumventing a war. So the Southsiders went to the Samoans and they said, get him off of the yard. And the Samoans readily agreed because they had already told Big Boy not to come out of the cell drunk again. They say, see, look what you done started. Look what didn't happen. We told you, do not come out of the cell drunk. The Southsiders have an insatiable appetite for respect and sometimes blood. And you just gave them a reason. Okay, fine. You gotta go. They didn't hesitate. Later on that night, right there in the day room, everyone is focused on the situation because we already know what's about to happen. Everyone is essentially out of the way. Big Boy is out there once again. I don't think he's drunk now, though, for the first time. He done sobered up. I think he realizes he done gotten himself in a major pickle. He just doesn't know that there's no way out for him other than bloodshed. He's sitting there in the day room, sitting down at the table, waiting to play cards. But they ready to play ball. So as he's sitting down, two Samoans, two Usos, approach him from the back. And one of them nearly took his head off of his shoulders, cocked his arm all the way back, and hit him, bam! I said, oh my God, but big boy, again, it was just a loud bang, a loud smack. He had to try to get him with everything he had. I believe the plan was to just try to daze him first, try to get big boy off of his equilibrium so they have a chance, because this dude is humongous. So he hit him with all of his might, and it did daze big boy. That's all it did, though. Most people would have been on the ground knocked out. But big boy, he just grabbed his face like that. But that was enough for them to pull out and hit him up. They whipped out the blinkies and started hitting him. Big boy, he jumped off the table and he tried to swing first, and he started running back, and he just ran to the door. This is the yard. This door never opens unless the police open it. This is a side door in the day room. You can't get out of there. But this is just his instinct. You know, he probably in shock, whatever. He don't know what to do. He just ran because they own him. He was still dazed, and they had already hit him 4 or 5 times by the time he started running, and they chased him down. But the police got on it quick. Get down, get down, get down. But they hit him a few more times. I don't think they was trying to kill big boy. This is their people that probably wanted to have a little mercy on them, but at the same time, they had to really take care of business, because if you don't take care of this right, then the Southsiders can and more than likely will say, nah, we don't, y'all let them off too easy. Y'all didn't take care of that. That's not how you do that, bro. Y'all playing with us. Now we about to get y'all. That's how that go. So if you're going to get him off the yard, you got to get him off the yard. They got him off the yard. They hit him hard. Bam, bam, bam. Then they did get out. When I say that, they didn't try to kill him, but they hit him, bro. They hit big boy at least 10 times. 2 of them were on him. Both of them had the blinkies, and they hit him. And he down there on the ground, he grabbing at his side. He's still not out. He's not unconscious. A lot of these times these dudes be out. I done seen 2 people laid out, immobile, can't move. They're not moving. But big boy, he still had plenty of life in him. He didn't have any fight in him, but he had life in him. He's sitting down, just grabbing his side. They telling him he got to lay down too. Get down, get down, get all the way down. He like, man, I can't lay down like this. I can't lay down on my side. They came and got him. They like the nurses, whenever they hit an alarm and they notice a stabbing, they run into the yard. Anyway, so they're coming, but he was able to stand up. They didn't need a stretcher for him. The nurses, they helped him out, helped him up, walked him off slowly. He was leaking blood. His shirt was leaked up. Blood, it was red. Ripped up. Face was bloody and red, but he was still alive. They cuffed up the Samoans and took them off. And that was really it. Because you just can't violate any rules there in high desert. In any prison, you just have to be careful. And I want everyone to stay out of there because it's miserable. And it's just, I never want to glorify it because it was the worst experience of my life. I get emotional thinking about my people in there. Don't want them in there. I love my people so much. I don't want them in that situation. But everyone, I don't want Mexicans in there. I don't want white people in there. Poor white people who also have to commit crimes because of the way that the capitalistic system is set up. End up in there. It's just a horrific situation for everyone. So everyone stay out of there and stay free. Think about your decisions before you make them. And that's it. But that's what happened, man. Big boy left out leaking, drinking on the yard, loud, and yeah, just bumping into the Southside. You said, damn, all he did was bump into him. He ended up getting stabbed up for that? Yes, sir. Yes. It wasn't that he bumped into him. It's that he didn't apologize. And he took an aggressive stance. Once he was the one in the wrong, things like that happen. It's okay. My bad, man. Excuse me. I say it all the time out here. If I even get close to someone, excuse me, bro. Excuse me, brother. You know, it's just a habit. I stay out, no. Yeah. You gotta be careful. You can't run into as big as you are, run into the south side and nearly knock them over, and then start laughing, talking about, man, you need to apologize to me. You ran into me. You are. He like, no, homie. He didn't find it funny. Big boy was laughing, but by my recollection, he was the only one laughing. He was the only one that found it funny. Then it cost him because the system, the politics have no mercy on you. Even though you're young, you think, well, he should get a chance. They should lace him up, get a chance to mature and grow into being a strong individual, a strong figure who understands the politics and is taking care of business. He young. He gonna make mistakes. Come on, man. Can't stab him. He young. No, that's just not how it works, bro. You got to get on board immediately. If you're too young, don't go. Think about that while you're out here. Don't do it. Stay safe and stay free, people.